In the tunnel. In the tunnel. In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 39. I don't know if anybody follows our Twitter or anything, but we have new things coming and I'm pretty excited. What about you?
First of all, do we have a joke for number 39? It's always good to have a number joke, but 39 is a tough one. Other than it being a prime number, but that's not really a joke. That's more just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Sean, you're a numbers guy.
But am I a numbers joke guy? It's usually you who bring out those weird or random number jokes that aren't really random.
Sure. It's a good work week when you work only 39 instead of 40 hours. The end. Full-time people can relate.
Alright, well, anyway, let's jump straight into it.
Yeah, so where are we starting at? NHL? Yeah, so
NHL playoffs, just to quickly cover it, because it's nearing the end.
How dare you even say that? We're not supposed to speak of the end, although at this point I'm kind of ready for it to be over for my sake, but
I mean, I don't know. It's been really entertaining for somebody who has had zero, team interest in the playoffs.
yeah. I can see that from your end. For me, I guess at this point we never really were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I guess from, Sean, we're in the same boat, really. The same struggles, the same GM, Ray Shero, basically. And yeah, big things coming for both of our teams. Hopefully, seeing our teams will both be good one day, right?
I mean, your team made the playoffs. My team is the number one overall pick. I think there's a pretty big discrepancy there.
Oh, hold on. My team didn't show up for the playoffs. They didn't really make it then.
Hey, they were in the top 16.
Of 31.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Coyotes were also almost in the top 16.
Yo, if they actually made it though, that would be their past 10 seasons.
Yeah, but the Coyotes made a conference final more recently than the Devils have, right? 2013-ish, I want to say. They played against Chicago, I think.
Are you sure?
Let's look it up. Research department.
All right.
Arizona Coyotes conference finals. Throw it into that billion-dollar company machine. These are the sounds I make when I think, but normally they're only in my head. The semifinalists. Okay, 2012.
2012.
Oh, so the same year that you guys lost in the Cup finals. Damn. So, congratulations.
I don't think either of us were winners there.
Well, hold on. Because even though the Coyotes were number 3 in their conference with 97 points, because that was back when division winners took the top 3 spots in the conference.
Yeah.
The Devils had more points as the 6th seed at 102 points.
Yep. But that was really normal back then to have that kind of discrepancy.
Yes, but here's where it doesn't get normal is the Phoenix. They were then the Phoenix Coyotes. They're the one organization that can't seemingly pick or choose Arizona or Phoenix. So they beat Chicago in 6 games in the first round, beat Nashville in 5 games in the second round, back when Nashville doesn't really make the second round. And then they lost in 5 games to the Kings.
Who went on to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, well, let's not talk about 7 years ago.
It's the Phoenix Coyotes year.
Obviously not. But anyway, so
You're definitely salty about something.
Anyway, we have 2 series going on. One's already started. One's starting.
Yeah, so I found out really quickly last night that I forgot. It's one of those things I forget every year. Is that when a round finishes, they don't wait for all the other games in that round to finish up before they start the next one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when one conference has a matchup, they just go.
Yep.
Because it was the Blues, or not Blues, Avalanche Sharks game the night before. I was like, really? They're starting the next round already? One day later? It's not right. I need a day after a couple game 7s to really start fresh.
No, nothing continues the hype like just starting right then and there.
But it's a game 1 now. It's like I need to be prepared for a game 1. I'm so used to game 7s. I mean, you go from everything is do or die to there's a few more games like that.
Yep.
Give me some time to readjust. A little mental mindset game, if you will.
Well, maybe you can petition the league and they probably won't listen to you.
So out of the norm.
Yeah, anyway.
Gary Bettman looks like someone who would listen to me. just by his gigantic nose.
Alright, we'll see how that goes for you.
Where do I mail the letter to? The left nostril or the right? Does he have big ears? Because then we could open up a P.O. box.
Oh boy.
This is all off the top of my head right now. That's a sad thing. Imagine if I had a Google image of Bettman in front of me.
I'm surprised you don't.
You know, Sean, I do like to sleep at night. Didn't we have a teacher in high school who would say that?
Yep.
Good times. Not really, but anyway, we've progressed.
Yeah,
Definitely did not need therapy for that one.
So, let's start with the matchup that's already played a game. As of when we're recording this, Boston and Carolina.
Yeah, so like I said, I was not ready for this one to start, but I can rant about Carolina if you really want to.
Go ahead.
All right. So, and the Carolina Hurricanes have already kind of ruined this one because of the Don Cherry comment about how, they now have people showing up for the games because they're winning, which is right. Don Cherry, again, calling out the crowd, but this time he was right. It's these people were not around this state when they were losing. They were hovering around 500, or even throughout this whole season. They've only come around in the past month, and
but hey,
it's gotten to no, Sean. I know that I don't go to downtown Wilmington a lot, but I never saw anyone in Hurricanes t-shirt, hoodie, jersey, anything downtown Wilmington where the most concentrated people are on a weekend, and seeing jerseys down there for the first time last week. It's these people are now showing up, and it's not right that it's not right to only support a team starting now. Because this is the part of the country where they will go away once the hype dies. These people will not be there next October when the season starts.
But
because it's not like football where it's that intensity can be throughout the year. Hockey, it changes in the playoffs. These people give October the first game of the season, and then they'll be out until next June.
But you can't fault the Hurricanes. Their marketing tactics, I'll guess, with their slogan of "bunch of jerks," whatever, has driven. It's not just that they're bandwagoning. It's how the Hurricanes as an organization got it to happen. So even though
Yeah, I'm not blaming the organization. I'm blaming the fans for not being there ahead of time.
But even though, well, I mean, their ownership was questionable prior to this,
Yeah.
and I mean, you could be in Ottawa's situation right now. Are you blaming the fans then? When they actually, if they,
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. Is the culture is so different there. You're in Canada where like the Maple Leafs probably sold out games on a semi-regular basis when they weren't good because that's the culture up there. When you're in North Carolina, it's different here. You
yeah,
go
but
you go and do other stuff.
again, like, if it's also a huge disparity in the fact that your ownership really matters down here more so than in Canada, right? So with the change of owner and the marketing team under this guy is doing a great job bringing fans, and obviously they're playing off the team's success, and obviously you cannot say that people, or this amount of people that are supporting the Hurricanes, will be there at the beginning of next season, but you can't say that it's all for naught.
I'd
You
say from
will
a
have
business
some carryover fans. I mean, I'm not saying you'll have like a lot of them, but it's a start, and
I'd say
you
from
got
a
to build your fan base
business
somehow.
I'd say from a business perspective, it's an incredible move because it makes a lot of money in a short-term basis. From a building a fan base move, I give maybe 20% carryover.
But 20% carryover is a start. You got to start somewhere, and using your success to drive a lot of people to the games and even retaining 20% of them is better than what they've been doing in years past.
Sean, their arena's on the NC State campus. The fact that they
Yes.
haven't sold out games when it's literally right there for the largest university in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, but you're also, hockey was never really that popular in the state of North Carolina.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. When you were in college, were there like student discounts to go anywhere for events?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you say that there's probably a good likelihood that NC State has that kind of program set up for hockey
Sure.
games on their campus?
Sure.
So how's it difficult to build the fan base with a youthful crowd?
But again,
Like
there are
right
also
there.
student discounts for other things that students do. Like, I even in New Jersey, right? Hockey wasn't the most prominent thing that like I would go out and do, even if I was using a student discount, right?
Hmm.
So I don't see how that fulfills the argument down in North Carolina, where you agree that a lot of things are more prominent, and they also have student discounts, especially if you're around NC State.
Okay, but okay, my only other argument here is location. Because yeah,
Okay.
it represents the two Carolinas, but let's say because there's only two major sports teams or three in the Carolina area.
Yes.
It's the Panthers, the Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
Now Charlotte is a couple hours away from Raleigh, where the Hurricanes play.
Mhm.
So let's say the I'll make an exception. The diehard basketball fan can't make it to the Hurricanes game because they're not in the right market. They chose to live in Charlotte.
Mhm.
So I mean that eliminates it, but that eliminates some potential audience. But that's not necessarily the fans' fault in that case because it's a different market within the Carolinas.
Mhm.
When football season ends, there's still hockey,
Correct.
and those two, I believe, are in Raleigh. I could be wrong. Where the Panthers and Hurricanes play, which to me means again, if you have sports fans, big time sports fans, regardless of sport, the only ticket in town from February on is the Hurricanes, and they still weren't selling out.
Okay.
And also keep in mind that's also the start of the semester time for the colleges and all that other stuff.
According to this, it's in Charlotte.
Okay, then I retract my statement. I had a friend tell me it was in Raleigh, and that's why you don't listen to your friends.
I see Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wellington, I'm gonna beat your ass.
All right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? They're in Raleigh. They're away from the other sports teams. And they play in NC State, right? Because they never drew the fans before that could get them a better arena, right?
Yeah, let's play out the scenario.
And again, I'm not saying that I agree with you that they're probably not gonna retain all these fans. In fact, they're gonna lose most of them. But you have to, like, I don't agree with Don Cherry that this is like dumb and there's a bunch of bandwagoners.
No, look, I'll say what it is. The bit Don Cherry's initial thing was he hated the fact that they were celebrating on the ice after the win. I thought that was great team bonding. I thought it was great for team chemistry. I think it's great for the fans who do show up because it provides an entertainment value beyond the product that was intended to be on the ice.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's marketing and it's not hockey.
But you're telling me that in North Carolina, I can just field a hockey team and go even in expenses. That is not the case.
No.
That's not the case in most hockey cities like Dallas. Are you kidding me?
All I'm saying is I supported the initial argument, but there is, or your initial argument about how like Don Cherry like was just being like a battered dude for going after some celebrating, but it's not like these fans showed up for the celebrations. They showed up because the team was good.
I mean, sure, but it's another way to generate interest, right? Because trust me, you probably wouldn't see as many people even tuning into Carolina games if they didn't see those celebrations on like ESPN or whatever.
Sean, local like cable here, and like Fox Sports Carolina on like your like not like big cable box, but your like small cable box that you get for like the normal packages.
Yeah.
It doesn't come in HD.
Okay.
It like takes up less than half the screen. People weren't watching hockey.
Yeah, so
People weren't watching Fox Sports Carolina in general.
And how do they get fans? They do something that puts them on a different television network.
I guess. But Don Cherry's up in Canada.
Yeah, he also wore a Bruins like suit in the last game,
He wears a crazy suit every game. That's besides the point. If I'm getting back to what was once a rant and has turned into an intelligent argument for the first time in our show's history, I will say this. This reminds me a lot of when the Carolina Panthers went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. And they were 15-1, and I had to say, because I was at UNCG at the time, I had to tell everybody I knew because they were walking around thinking that the Super Bowl was going to be handed to them because they were 15-1. And when I saw the Steelers not even make the Super Bowl with the same record like 10 years before, I said to all these people, hey, it's not a guarantee. And nobody was listening to me, just being really cocky, just, oh, Cam's got this in the bag. Superman, all this stuff, dab on them all. They lost the Super Bowl, and how was it the next day outside on campus? It was dead silent, and that'll be the exact same thing. Even if the Hurricanes win the Cup, is when the next season starts, it'll be dead silent when you ask about hockey. The only thing that anyone will have to say is, "Well, the Hurricanes won the Cup."
Right, but
and that's all that matters.
But Don Cherry just does not like anything that isn't hockey, and that just doesn't work in places that are not Canada or not close enough to Canada or a major city.
That's fine. It's, I don't know. For me, this is a little bit of like, I wish that my team was there in this stage, but at the same time, it's being realistic. And it's kind of like when you're in a relationship and you don't see the drama in the relationship that you're in. because you're nose blind. You're in that relationship, but your friends see all the drama and they will tell you about it because they don't have an emotional stake in it. So me not being a Hurricanes fan, not necessarily rooting for them to fail, and not necessarily rooting for them to succeed, just be like, take a step back and be like, hey, these people weren't here before. And yes, to some extent, it's good marketing, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's a hell of a lot of bandwagon that would have been there even if the marketing wasn't there. The Seattle Seahawks.
The thing is, with marketing, right? You have to take advantage of the bandwagon because even if
You do, but the Seattle Seahawks built the bandwagon without the marketing.
Yeah, but the marketing is there to even try and retain 10% of it. If they do that, they've more than done their job.
I guess. We'll see next year, but
yeah, no, I agree.
My hopes aren't high.
All right, well, what do you think of the series so far now that we've gotten through a rant?
This wasn't a rant. This we'll have to create our own playlist on YouTube for like Hurricanes rants turns into intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
This was like our Forbes segment. They're like Forbes this week in Forbes magazine. We're like the tear out, like perforated letter that people just throw in the trash.
Yeah.
So the series in itself, I mean, I didn't really watch much of game one. Had a kickball game, walked in, and the Hurricanes were up. But when the game ended, it was 5-2 the other way for the Bruins.
Yep.
I think that the Bruins on paper and how they play is a different style than the Hurricanes are ready for. Just because the Bruins play with that physicality that the Hurricanes don't have. Plus, the Hurricanes still have like Van Riemsdyk's on the shelf. They have a bunch of their role players on an injured list right now, where they're probably not going to be back in time for it to really make the biggest of differences. And those are key pieces when you're playing a team like the Bruins, because like it would kind of be like, I mean, this would be the same thing of like if they were playing Tampa right now, I would be saying the same thing. Is like that lineup, it just looks different in terms of strengths.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I think
I found out. Sorry to interrupt. Marcus Johansson and Charlie Coyle are on the third line for the Bruins.
Yeah,
that's a relatively deep team when those two guys are on the third line.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you who's on the second line for the Hurricanes, and that's partly on me for not being, diving into the Hurricanes roster too much. But I mean, really, they've got Justin Williams, Jordan Staal, some shaky goaltenders who have had some good moments. They have, Slavin, and they've got a couple decent defensive pieces. But other than Aho's the other one, the All-Star this year.
I was waiting for that.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I'd go former Pacꓘs first. But the point is like, still, that's only what? I've named maybe like 4 forwards.
Yeah.
It takes 16. Or not 16, but 12.
From watching that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like if like the first 2 periods and the third period were just completely different games if you're looking at how the Hurricanes played.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give this to them. To start off with a lead when game one is in Boston, then to go into there, because Boston is an animal of a territory to play in the playoffs, regardless of sport. That going into there and coming out with a lead early is a big step to build off of, and that will probably carry over to more success in game two. Not necessarily a win, but more established control.
Right.
That is a factor, and it is hopefully going to be a longer series than 4 games. It's interesting. The pattern in the bracket seems to be Islanders sweep Penguins, which turns into them losing in 4 to the Hurricanes. So you never know. The pattern is kind of looking like whoever sweeps loses via sweep next round.
So what you're saying?
That pattern. So it all comes back to the Penguins.
So hold on. what you're saying is I should hope the Bruins sweep the Hurricanes so they get swept by the winner of the West.
It could happen. The only problem and flaw in my strategy is the fact that the Blue Jackets did not get swept in their series with the Bruins. But I'm starting, like my theory works because it's a tie thing. Whoever wins via sweep, starting with that 2-3 in the Metro, loses via sweep the next round, and then that team won via sweep. So that means lose via sweep could happen here.
All right. Well, yeah. So I think
It's the twilight zone of hockey defense.
anyway, yeah, I think that as far as that series goes, if the Hurricanes can pull that third period together, it'll be a great series to watch. But if they just
absolutely,
they need to figure out what happened in that third period.
Yeah. That was not good.
Yeah. What do you think about the Sharks and Blues?
See, for me, the Blues, it's a nice feel-good story because, I mean, we've said this before, they probably shouldn't have been here. They probably shouldn't have
literally
been
last
on the bracket. They weren't a wild card team. Or yeah, but they were last. The Sharks they've got a nice roster, but the thing is, they are probably at the end of their competitive window.
You sure?
I mean, how many years does Thornton have left? How far can you go with only Pavelski and Evander Kane? Carlson's a free agent, or did he get a new deal, or is he free agent after this year?
I wasn't paying attention to his contract.
Let's find out.
I mean, aside from them being at their competitive end, as you put it, I do think I give the edge to the Sharks in this series.
Oh yeah, I give him the edge in this series, but I'm just surprised that the Sharks are there because I didn't foresee them having this much left in the tank, even when they went out and got Carlson. And Carlson is a free agent after this year. So I will say my take is this year is the last year for the Sharks to compete for a cup.
Okay. I mean,
they have a solid, core still in place that's younger, but they could lose some big names. Yeah. Like Thomas Hertl is a solidified piece, but he's a solidified piece in where he is in the lineup already. If he's not on the first line yet, he's probably peaked in terms of where he's going to be.
Okay.
So like that. And Martin Jones is obviously not going to get any younger as time goes on.
Yeah. So what's your prediction, SCF, Stanley Cup Finals? Who's in it?
I'm going to go Sharks and Bruins. And again, I'm not trying to be biased against Carolina. I just, like I said, the Bruins are playing like bully ball right now, where, they're just, and their power play is looking really good. Part of it's on Carolina for giving up so many power play chances last night, because it's like every time you looked up at the screen, they were on the power play again. But yeah, that's stuff that a power play unit can take into multiple games in a series.
There was also some pretty questionable calls going both ways.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes when it switches over to games in North Carolina, I guess. But
I mean,
that's my prediction.
Regardless, I do want to do a refs in review at the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs because of all the questionable calls that have been going around.
Oh, can we do biographies of the refs?
Maybe. Yeah, so
just make up like fake hobbies. Like he likes to play badminton in his spare time, but he only plays it on ice and only on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it's going to be a Sharks Bruins series, but I would prefer to see the Hurricanes in there. I just personally have a bias against the Bruins, I guess.
I mean, hey, I hate the thought of a Boston team winning another championship as well.
But realistically,
if you're giving me a realistic prediction, I mean,
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
it's pretty clear when we're saying, "Hey, what is your realistic prediction?" There's really only teams that you realistically see,
Mhm.
and it may be just because you have like the like blurry vision of the Blues, where it's like you still are stuck in mid-season where you just don't see them
They
go
were
into the finals.
literally ranked 31st.
Right. So it's that you only remember that, and you don't remember this, and
Hmm.
you just base it completely off of the other part.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we could say the same thing for the Hurricanes too, and both of
But
those teams are Hurricane. No, but the Hurricanes, I'm saying before the season were written off.
yeah, I mean, they were kind of like lower middle, I guess, but they were definitely not as bad as the Blues were.
No, yeah, well, nobody was.
Well, I mean, like
Literally.
comparatively, like they didn't make this huge jump to make the playoffs. The Blues literally turned around their entire season.
Yeah,
The
they should have
Hurricanes
gotten
got a
Ryan
little
Reeves
bit
back.
better. That's about it.
Yeah,
All
time for
right, so
Ryan Reeves to come back to St. Louis.
no.
Why not?
Anyway, let's move on. We still got a lot to do this episode.
That was a very productive conversation we had, Mr. Menon.
Right. Anyway, so now on to the NBA playoffs.
Oh, do we have to?
Do you want to? I mean, all series are pretty damn close.
Yeah, so let's dive into this. I mean, we can't really go as far with NBA anyway,
Yeah.
just based off of our knowledge of it. Because I bowed out after the Nets were eliminated.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, look, I wake up every morning at 7:15, turn on ESPN, and then eventually after that ends, Sports Center ends at 7, and it turns to Get Up at 8. Get Up only talks about the NBA for like the first 35 minutes before I have to leave for work.
Hmm.
So, uh, that's basically the extent of my NBA knowledge is whatever Sports Center covers in 45 minutes plus Get Up. And needless to say, they talk a lot about if Kawhi Leonard is going to leave after every game of every like Raptors playoff game. It's like legitimately this morning, is Kawhi Leonard going to leave if the Raptors lose Game 7? It's like I'm pretty sure you asked like if he was going to leave if they lost Game 6, and it wasn't even an elimination game. Like
It's like, can't you let
ESPN
him
needs to
play Game
find,
7?
yeah, exactly. ESPN needs to find a new angle. Like it's really scary. It's like to only lean on one sport just because football's not around right now.
Yeah.
Not good.
All right, so quick thoughts about this, because obviously we don't have much to talk about in terms
Well,
of
I mean,
in-depth knowledge.
Kevin Durant's taken over for the Warriors, but then he got hurt and he's out for the rest of the series.
Yep.
So if you're the Rockets, doors open. Now's your time to make a move.
Yeah.
Being down 3-2 in the series and being lucky to have two games because they were down 2-0. But now's your opportunity because Kevin Durant was having a pretty damn good postseason and he's now out for the rest of the series.
Yep.
Now's time to make that big move.
So
Portland and Denver, I'm actually rooting for Portland. Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
Denver, I mean, I can't go wrong rooting for either of those teams but it's like when you see who they play next. I think if Houston wins the series, Portland or Denver has a chance. Golden State, it depends on how long Kevin Durant is out for.
Yeah. And what about Philly and Toronto? Any?
I mean, I wish I could give you an answer because it seemingly is like one game to Philly, then to Toronto, then the Philly, then Toronto. One game, Joel Embiid is a beast. The next day, the next game, he's got the shits. And let's like legit, he said that at press conference. It was like, oh, you had a bad game because he had the shits. Or not the shits, but like intestinal problems, which is
Oh.
basically the same thing.
I mean, to be
And
fair,
then it's like he puts up 40, and then the next night he puts up like 16.
yeah. To be
The
fair,
dude's got to play.
I would actually
I would sit
be
out the game then.
pretty okay with a Philly winning the series, as much as I'm a
I would too, because I think the Raptors are kind of a fluke team.
right.
They've done it with a 1 seed in the past and lost to the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
They now have the 2 seed to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, on paper, I think we talked about this before. Philly has a better bench, in my opinion, and has just an overall better roster with more strength spots covered than Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto is Kawhi Leonard, and then I mean Kawhi is top tier in the NBA for sure.
Oh yeah.
He can't take you alone to a finals like LeBron had done in the past, but Kyle Lowry is an all-star guard, but he's not on that Kawhi Leonard tier.
Mm-hmm.
Marc Gasol, he's I mean former all-star, but he's again not on that Kawhi Leonard tier. And then it's a pretty significant drop off in who's left on that team. So they only have so many pieces that I feel like can clash with what Philly brings to the table. Don't forget, Philly has also got that Boban Marjanovic dude who's like 7 foot, four on the bench. So when Embiid can't play, they don't lose size, and they have versatility in pretty much every position on the court.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's just the only opinion I have, though, is like I actually wouldn't mind Philly.
Yeah, for once.
The rest of the series are kind of like meh to me. I don't know.
I'd love to see the Bucks make the NBA Finals. I get that they're the 1 seed, but just the fact that they're the Bucks.
Yeah.
And just you think over the past 20 some years, the thought of them making a finals is just unfathomable. I would just love to see it happen, but this is kind of like I feel like it's saying the start when it was the start of the Golden State era, where it was like, oh, such a feel good story that first year when they made it in like they won the finals in their first year of like being truly, truly good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, 4 years later, it's like, come on, enough with this. Let's move on to the next one. So, I mean, I'll say it for this postseason. I'm all for the Bucks making the finals. But don't quote me on that past this season.
To be fair, though, like any team from the East making it to the finals is great because it's not LeBron.
Correct, but you could say the same thing for the West outside of Golden State.
But that's the problem. Golden State is still there, technically.
Yeah, technically.
So
we're one Draymond Green technical away from a suspension, and then, that team is very different.
Yeah. But it's neither here nor there yet.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, time to move on to wheel spin time
time to bake the beans.
As the slide says, right? So we're going through all the matchups currently in progress. With the first one being the 76ers and Raptors series.
So the way, I mean, we were going to shoot the episode earlier this week. Anyone who's paying attention to our Twitter and Facebook knows that. And so this segment had a little bit more juice to it because we were just going to play out each game and see how far it went back in when it was like game fives and stuff. So needless to say, we won't be spinning the wheel as many times, but
yeah, but hey,
there you go. Who's going to win game 7?
And also, we moved it later, so it became an intellectual conversation that we totally did not plan.
Do we ever plan to be intellectually, conversing?
Exactly never.
Exactly never. That sounds like a correct statement.
Anyway, so 76ers and Raptors, who does the wheel say will win this one?
Give it a spin, Sean.
Okay.
And
it's the Raptors.
Oh, that's about right. It's about time. Especially after we just backed the Philadelphia team for once.
Yep, the wheel has to go against us.
That's what I get for agreeing with you.
Anyway,
Shame on me. Anyway,
so now that the wheel disagrees with us once, moving on to the Blazers and the Nuggets.
I'm sticking with CJ McCollum and the Blazers.
All right, well, I'll join you for this one.
Why? We're gonna get it wrong. Oh, jeez.
Are we?
I don't know. I'm on a delay.
Yeah, this one. No, we got it right, but
but I'm wearing red, so it means more for me.
yeah, and that one, I don't know, kind of froze there for a while. But yeah, the Blazers win this one according to the wheel.
Such an emotional time to be alive.
And the last series we have for basketball would be.
Well, we have to play. We have to play 2 games here.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Game 6. Do you think? Do the Warriors win it and stop the wheel, or do they get forced into a Game 7?
I think the Warriors stop the wheel. Sean, what do you think?
I will say they don't. Let's go.
All right. I hope I'm not going with songs that actually exist. I don't want to pay royalties.
Can't you just make the argument that you're just making random noises?
Not if it's in an actual rhythm.
Oh.
The wheel is spinning, 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 and I'm annoying.
The Warriors won Game 6, so
the rain continues.
Yeah, unfortunate for us, huh? The wheel just doesn't like us today.
The wheel doesn't like me. Oh, actually, I just got 2 right. I can't say that.
All right, moving on to the 2 hockey series in progress. We're not spinning the wheel 7 times, are we?
Yes, we are.
We are spinning the wheel until one team wins. Okay.
Yeah.
So in Boston's case, they already have a game.
Because it's not entertaining for an audience if we just predict things, Sean. We have to play it out.
Okay.
For some wildly corny reason, like when Chicago. We literally played out a whole fucking college basketball bracket.
Yes, that was fun. Anyway, so
now we're gonna do something very similar and call it a new idea.
All right. Anyway, so Sharks and Blues Game 1. Who do you got?
By the way, I like to prelude this by apologizing for you realizing now that the wheels probably are gonna spin longer, and we have to predict the whole series. But
yeah,
we are.
It looks like it. So Game 1, Sharks Blues.
I'm gonna say it goes to the Blues on the road.
Oh.
Because somewhere along the line, something stupid is gonna happen, and I feel like there's gonna be just enough sample size of stupid to start out that it'll even itself out later on. And the wheel is spinning. By the way, this I just realized now makes for a bad audio podcast because the wheel is gonna be spinning for 20 seconds.
Hey, I don't know why the wheel just decided to take its time. But
this is like melatonin.
Right? Could you be right?
Probably.
It looks like it, but the wheel is slightly shifting still, so I have no idea.
There must be a bug in the software.
Yeah, well, okay, Blues win Game 1, so now they're up 1-0. You think they're going to continue to Game 2?
Nah.
So you think they'll win the first one on the road, but they will drop the second?
Sure.
And apparently the wheel agrees with you. They will win the first one on the road. Let's see what the wheel says for the second. Yeah, this is This wheel is taking forever to decide.
Forever, forever. I'm making this up, so don't sue us.
And it looks like the Sharks
I think you
take
can
this
call
one?
it once it stops moving.
Huh?
You can call it when it stops moving. We don't have to wait for it to like pop up.
The Sharks took that one. Game 2, the Sharks took it. So
All right.
it is 1-1.
I mean, I've gotten 4 in a row right.
Yeah, so we're moving to game 3. We're now in St. Louis.
All right, you're gonna pick this time.
Blues win. First game at home. And the wheel decided a little quicker this time.
Yeah, Sean adjusted the code because
Yeah.
he's mad at me now.
So the Sharks won game 3 on the road.
Yeah, now it's going to be the Blues.
That surprised, but the next game is probably going to be the Blues. So
Yeah.
Let's see.
My initial plan was just for the wheel to spin for like 30 seconds and ask you how your day was while it was spinning.
That was your plan?
That wasn't much of a plan, but I thought it would just be great for like awkward silence to ensue for a second or two. And just be like, that awkward silence turns into, so.
Anyway.
What's going on?
Blues won game 4, so now it's tied 2-2. Going into game 5 back in San Jose. And so Sharks are going to win this one most likely?
Who cares?
And they do. And so game 6, which goes back to St. Louis. Oh, this thing is going to choose game 7, dude. It's 3-3. Game 7 in San Jose. Probably goes to the Sharks, like the wheel says.
Probably goes to the Blues.
The wheel says the Sharks, though.
I'm on a damn tape delay.
Anyway, so let's finish off with the series.
I believe in St. Louis. Not the Cardinals, though, but...
Let's finish off with the series that actually has one game played. So Boston has a 1-0 lead already. You think they take game 2?
I don't know, but it sounds kind of biased to me.
Why does it sound... Oh my god.
They have a game in hand. We can only control so much.
Alright, well, the wheel says the Hurricanes win game 2. So we'll just move straight along. So now they're in Carolina. You gonna go see those games? Probably not.
Nope.
Bruins win the first game in Carolina. But for the second game?
Bruins are going to take that one too.
Nope. The Hurricanes take that one. So they go back to Boston.
Slim margin.
Back to Boston for game 5.
Alright. Let's see what happens.
And the Bruins take game 5 at home. So now they are up 3-2.
Will they be lifting, or I guess the question is if they win game 6, do they pick up the trophy or not?
Yes.
Well, no, some teams don't pick it up.
Oh, right. Totally forgot about that.
The conference trophy.
Right, well, Hurricanes win at home, so if the Bruins win, they'll pick it up. And do the Bruins take it home at home?
Oh, well, someone's got to win.
Well, it looks like the Hurricanes pull out the Game 7 upset.
It was probably Justin Williams.
Yeah, Mr. Game 7.
Well, not even because of that, just because the veteran always wins it.
Alright. So, anyway, now that the wheels are out of the way and total us, they're all going to go to Game 7 anyway.
It's a shame. I would have rather it have been the Blues.
Yeah. You want to move on to the next segment, which is returning?
Sure, I think that the Blues would beat the Warriors in the finals, though.
If they played the same sport?
It's a Cinderella story. Hey, you can dunk on ice. It just doesn't look great.
Can you dribble on ice?
Sure. I mean, the Hurricanes literally did that after one of their wins earlier this year.
True,
Like I said,
probably.
it didn't look great, but they did it.
Okay. Anyway, what city are we visiting today?
Hotlanta.
Atlanta. All right. You want to go
Hotlanta.
through them?
Home of the Hot and the Lana. And the Barbs or Braves or whatever it's called. Yeah, so decided to mostly keep it in the sports realm, but take a quick step outside to literally step outside your house to your garage because you can get yourself 20% off a garage for $2,476. Buy a garage off Facebook. That's a sentence that everybody says.
It would
Hey,
have been.
Greg, you've got a nice looking garage. Where do you get that? Facebook? Oh, I would have thought it was Craigslist.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
it would
Can
be.
I cut you guys off? I think this conversation needs to stop.
It would be really funny if you actually looked at the actual price of whatever the heck that garage is, and it wasn't 20% off.
You know what's funny is we're looking at the picture. There's like this sign with like a little red banner on it. You can just tell that that's like there's a 70% chance that that's a sale sign. Like price drop on this. It's like the clearance rack at like Kohl's, but for garages.
All right.
All right. So you got your $95 pickleball paddle, and look, there is definitely an audience for pickleball. But if you're selling your stuff on Facebook, keep in mind the buyer probably is not the most hardcore pickleball player. And if they're just taking up the sport, I'm guessing $95 is probably less. There's probably less money invested in their whole, outfit for their game of pickleball that day with the paddle than, what is being sold for on this. A $95 pickleball paddle is
Probably out of
way over the top.
99% of people's budget.
It's about $92 more than I'd be willing to spend.
All right.
And then look, this one it could be legitimate, but there's something about this autographed Rafael Furcal baseball that does not look legit.
Yeah, that's the
And
first thing I thought.
maybe it's the fact that no autographed baseball ever has actually looked like normal handwriting on the ball.
And also that like you would expect like if those are initials, the last one be like the F for call.
It's for Rookie of the Year, Sean.
Yeah, but where's his autograph?
I'd imagine on the other side of the ball.
And
But
you're showing
still,
just ROY 2000 NL. Are you kidding me?
oh, because this was the person who was selling it didn't actually have a picture of the signature on the ball. Like you can see from this picture on the left side, you can see a little squiggle that looks like it might be from a name, but
That
there's
could be
only
any
3
name.
pictures. Yeah, that's okay. That's one part of it, but the person also didn't put up a picture from that side of the ball.
Right. Okay.
Question the legitimacy all you would like at that point.
Right.
That is textbook buyer beware.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next set.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, for a lot of stuff, there's a market here. If you're an Atlanta Falcons fan and never really won a Super Bowl, so an NFC Championship, memento goes a long way. That being said, the soda bottle with soda still in it from 1998, probably not something I spent $10 for because I know that there's something in that bottle that should not still be in that bottle.
But to be
You can
fair,
keep the bottle without the soda in it,
to be
and you
fair,
probably should.
that's a lot less than I thought somebody would be selling a sealed bottle of memorabilia for.
No. I mean, it's exactly what I thought would be going because, I mean, they've been NFC champions, more recently.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Usually sealed things, as long as that is actually sealed,
See, I don't know that it is because I feel like that bottle should still have more in it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. But also, like, I don't know. It could be. At least it probably has a better chance of actually being sealed than that baseball on the last page actually has of being
They could be from the same person.
real. They had different cities in them, so probably not.
Extended family.
All right.
It's a scam for everybody.
Anyway, moving on.
All right, so this Doran Becker thing, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. This could be like last week with the Boston stuff where I just don't know that it's like a fashion brand with like that bathing ape thing. So these hats could be like going for a lot anyway. $300 for a bunch of hats. Sean,
And
you know
jackets.
Sean, you know I have a lot of hats.
And jackets.
No, I mean, not so much the jackets part, but look, $300 is a lot to be dropping on everything in that picture. Keep in mind, you're not covering anything below your waist.
Mm-hmm.
To invest that much in top to the waist, it's a little over the top, Atlanta.
Pretty. You don't really. I wouldn't expect to see that on FB Marketplace, but then again, we see a lot of random stuff.
Speaking of random stuff, how about the guy who still wants $275 for Atlanta Thrashers stuff, thinking it's throwbacks?
Former Atlanta Thrashers NFL jersey. Good job, guys.
Yep, NFL jersey.
For Zach Bogosian.
Zach Bogosian, yep. The first NFL player to wear long sleeves. Fun fact.
And play for the Atlanta Thrashers and NFL team.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Apparently did his research on how much to sell for, not so much why.
Yep.
Anyway, so let's move on. All right. So my thing with custom t-shirt companies, because I get that you have to get the word out, and there's actually more examples. I actually trimmed and left one out because there was an example someone was trying to do custom t-shirt business with their example picture being like tatas in it, like just saying tatas on the chest. Again, probably not the best foot forward. I guess it opens up your clientele a lot more, but not necessarily, the most wholesome marketing. So I guess there's an audience for real estate t-shirts.
Okay.
I mean, have you ever met a real estate agent who wore a t-shirt?
No.
Okay, so I guess there isn't an audience. So how about Sean? I feel like this is a good birthday gift for you. The $20 if I'm gonna flip an ugly house, I'm gonna make it look sexy shirt. Is that in your wheelhouse?
No.
You should get that for your parents for when they sell you their house.
Oh boy.
And then as soon as you guys sign the agreement to hand over the house to you, you get the shirt. And then you can wear that shirt as you put in new furniture.
Alright.
Just game planning your future. A little investing.
But seriously, let's talk about what's next to that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
seriously?
Look at all the diamonds in that pretty. Oh, wait, it's not a Super Bowl.
It literally says NFC Championship.
Yeah. And $20 is exactly what it's worth at most.
Oh my god.
But the fact of the matter is, someone bought a ring for making an appearance in the Super Bowl.
Oh boy.
Oh, I mean, that's not as good as I couldn't find it a second time, but there was one gold ring or like a gold plated ring that looked like that with an older Falcons logo from like the 80s or 90s. That was NFL champions Atlanta Falcons,
Oh my god.
which remember has not happened.
Yep.
Someone's just out here selling legitimately the most blatant fake jewelry ever.
Somebody probably bought it.
Not yet.
Well, I'm talking about the other one.
The gold one or
Yeah.
this one?
Gold one.
The gold one, I mean, it was still there
Oh.
when I was coming
Oh,
up with
okay.
ideas,
So,
but
not yet either. Okay.
maybe a price drop coming soon. Atlanta? Hmm?
Oh, boy.
Buyer's choice. It's a buyer's market for fake Super Bowl champion rings.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Anyway, moving on.
Anywho's. Alright, so we go on to the next segment, yes?
Yep.
Alright, so this is our new segment. It's useless stats. There's, sports are measured in numbers, obviously, and there's always, shows out there, numbers never lie, stuff like that. We're going to tell you about the times that numbers do lie. And, or maybe didn't mean as much as, things say. And, there's always MVPs on teams that didn't win championships who put up big stats like Russell Westbrook did. But we're going to come up with the most outrageous stats that are real and go with you on that. Which, proves how useless it is. Sean, take this away before I, go further down this rabbit hole.
All right, so we'll just start off. The 2005 Texas Rangers hit
Yes, sir.
the third most home runs by an MLB team in a single season.
Right? And at that time, it was the second most
And
in MLB history
it
for
was
a single
also,
season by a team.
yeah, so the most in that season, right?
Mm-hmm.
They finished at 79 and 83.
So not a playoff team despite hitting the most jacks in the MLB that year, which is saying a lot for an AL team when the Yankees always have the short porches
Yeah.
in their stadiums.
But also,
So, I mean,
not even 500.
yeah, like not enough, divide those up a little further, maybe get a few game winning home runs out of it.
Yep.
All right, so that one wasn't too useless, but we'll take it one step further. We're going to go way back into the archive of baseball.
Almost
all the way back
90 years ago, almost.
Yeah, indeed. So in 1930, the Chicago Cubs Hack Wilson, which back then I guess they called people by that name. Hack is a good name, and he certainly did with the bat. He had 190 RBIs in one season, which is just unthinkable. Back then there were no playoff rounds, and this is kind of like where like some of my stories have like the stupid ending where you feel like you missed something. There were no playoff rounds, only the World Series. So they took the two top teams of the two division, or one team per division.
At the
So,
time.
so the Cubs were second in their division behind the Cardinals, and the Cubs did not make the World Series. The end. 191 RBIs, no playoffs.
Yep.
I mean that's wild.
Yeah.
And they definitely had like 16 teams out there. They could have done a playoff. All right, but by far our most useless stat of the night is that in 2003-04, Tracy McGrady led the NBA in scoring
In points
with,
per game.
right, with 28 points per game on an Orlando Magic team that went all of 21 and 61. He led the NBA in scoring on a team that won less than 25 games.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets even more useless, but yet somehow more crazy as well. The prior year, McGrady had 4.1 more points per game, 32.1 points per game, which apparently is the big difference in this equation. Because 4.1 points per game equated to about a 21 win difference. Because the year before, when he had 32.1 points per game, the Magic went 42 and 40.
Yep.
So, I mean, yikes.
Yikes it is.
Yikes, skidooskies. All right. All right. So, I mean, that's all I had. Did you have anything else with stats?
No, nothing.
All right.
All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. And
Yeah, and next week we're gonna come up with we're gonna start our competition series, which is basically where Sean and I are gonna make bets at each other and see how it goes, and we're gonna start keeping score and make this competitive.
hopefully they're pretty outlandish and entertaining.
Yeah, maybe we'll have the wheel decide our teams for us.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
That would be great. Pick an We're both assigned an MLB team for the week.
And we have to
It's like whoever gets the Marlins is fucked.
Hey, it could be like losses in that week. You don't know. The wheel might decide what the bet wager is or what the bet stat is.
Losses are like golf. It always helps to have negative numbers. It's the
All right,
same
yeah.
thing,
So
really.
stay tuned for next week. Hopefully, we life doesn't interfere too much, and we get it in earlier than this week's one was.
Yeah, and also we're going to start a fan base called the Stat Pack. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. Yep.
Hashtag Stat Pack.
Thanks for watching or listening in.